session, we have Dr. Chinmay Umarji, sir, who's a fetal and maternal medicine specialist. Can we have you, sir, on the dais? His topic would be fetal medicine. The chairperson would be Dr. Aditya Khud, sir. Do we have Dr. Aditya over here? And Dr. Soitkar, sir, who's a senior family physician.
So I welcome you for this session on fetal medicine, and it's a pleasure to introduce your own colleague and very dear friend Dr. Chinmay Umarji, one of the upcoming fetal medicine specialists in Pune. Not just fetal medicine, but he's also evolved himself into invasive and fetal therapy as well, which is so important, especially during the 9 months and the early trimesters. So Chinmay, the stage is all yours, and he would be briefing us on the various advances in fetal medicine.
So it was my dear friend Dr. Aditya Khud, sir, the core committee of BMA, Dr. Deshpande, sir, Dr. Jagannath Mahajan, sir, and everybody. Many thanks for giving me this opportunity. I hope I am audible. No. So today I am going to give a brief introduction about how we manage babies in the modern era. And after Dr. Deepali ma'am has conceived those patients, it's our job as a team of GPs, us, gynecologists, fetal medicine people, and fertility specialists to work together for that crucial journey of 9 months. All these obstacles, if I say, or challenges, they may come along the journey, and in majority of the cases nowadays we have answers, we have solutions. We have to identify, diagnose, counsel and make a plan, and here I think the role of a family physician, the role of a gynecologist and fetal medicine specialist working together with the team of patient and her family comes. Treat them together, and then, if needed, sometimes terminate them. Babies may not look great when you diagnose an anomaly like this, but you can assure them that majority of these babies are going to be healthy, and you need not terminate them. So you can actually save those lives. Counseling is the mainstay, and you need all your peripheral surgeons, pediatric surgeons, neonatologists to help this mother. You need up-to-date sonographer, you need a good software, you need kits, and you need certifications. Why fetal medicine now? Because we can save lives. We can improve the quality of lives, and I'm just going to cite a few examples to make it easier for us to understand. So, pardon me, I'm going to skip a few slides. And here is a 20 years primary gravida, got IVF conceived. It was a twin pregnancy, both were donor embryos, post-bilateral oophorectomy, came with scan reports suggesting discordant fetal growth. And if you see, on the first scan, the growth is not really discordant. The weights of the babies, they're quite fine. So we reassured, we said, like any twin who needs every monthly monitoring, let us see this twin in a month's time. At 24 weeks, everything was normal. We looked at the heart in detail. But at 28 weeks, there's a bit of growth discordance. Now, the smaller baby was below the 10th centile, which means baby is really small. Nowadays, we don't talk in terms of weeks. We started monitoring that baby's Dopplers, and this is a normal Doppler through umbilical cord. It slowly suggested that the flow at the end of the diastole was reducing, and then ultimately it reversed. At that point of time, we started monitoring baby's blood flow to the heart via ductus venosus. And the moment one of the babies suggested that the ductus venosus is getting compromised at around 31 weeks, we said, let us get them delivered. We have to deliver them in a tertiary unit at that stage. We have to give them steroids for lung maturity, and we have to give them magnesium sulfate. For the gynecologists in the crowd, we give only one window of steroids, one course of steroid, and we should not repeat that. So do not give them prophylactically just because you have twins. Wait till you plan a delivery and give it a week before. So at the delivery, the bigger baby was 1.2, smaller baby was 700, and this is 8th of April 2017. So babies are 2 years now, and they are doing absolutely fine. The smaller baby had this knot, a true knot, and that is the reason why baby was having growth problems, and that's the younger one. Now, you must have heard about CVS and amniocentesis, Garbhajal Pariksha, to check the baby's DNA. And here is an example where you would suggest them to go for a DNA testing. So if you look at this mother, she's 35 years old in her second pregnancy, 12 weeks pregnant now. If you do a fetal medicine scan for NT in a FMFUK accredited fashion, and you find out an NT of 7.3, at this level around 2.5 or lesser would be considered normal. This is highly abnormal NT. You look at their HCG and PAPE, the chemicals which suggest DNA dysfunction, they are also slightly abnormal. So the net result is that this baby is at high risk of having DNA problems, especially the Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome and Patau syndrome. A natural tendency would be, let us get this pregnancy terminated, we'll see later. What needs to be done here is assure the patient that at an NT of 7, around 50% of the babies would have aneuploidies, abnormal DNA, but the rest of the 50% are likely to be okay, DNA-wise. Amongst them, 20% may have heart defects. So around 70% of these babies may have some problems, but you could be in the 30% or 70%, we don't know yet unless we test you further. And then it's her decision whether she wants to go ahead or whether she doesn't. Now one would think that in their second pregnancy, they would like to be very careful, especially if they have a healthy child at home. But this patient was different. She said, I want testing. She went for testing. Testing was normal. And we could give her a healthy baby, normal delivery at 38 weeks. Baby boy, elder was also a boy, and 3 kilos this time. So that is what I was talking about when I spoke about the function, and that's the happy family then. But sometimes the results may not be that happy, and you may get an abnormal chromosome, the third red dot over here, suggesting that there is an extra copy of chromosome number 21. This baby is going to have intellectual disability. The lifespan is going to be around 30 to 40 with an IQ of 2 years old. A big responsibility for the family. And these are the times when you need to hold their hands, tell them what's going to happen, and you'll be surprised few parents would still go ahead with the pregnancy, especially if they are IVF conceived. So these are the parents where you need to really be non-directive, non-judgmental. You should not think that what is best for me is going to be best for them. Also, do not advise them to terminate without testing. Because in this patient, we could actually tell her that let us check your DNA, and actually there was what we call as a balanced translocation in the mother of chromosome number 21, and we could give her a pregnancy the next time because this patient, she just tried and the baby also had a balanced translocation. She did not go for IVF and she did well. Have you heard about the term octomom? Mother with 8 pairs of, 8 babies born together. So 8 embryos were transferred and she had those babies, and once she was delivered, there was a craze in the United States. People wanted more and more babies to be transferred in the same cycle, and I cannot emphasize more the point Dr. Dipali has already stated, that single embryo transfer should be the norm. Because you end up with these babies your miscarriage risk is phenomenal. With 8 embryo transfers, your risk of miscarriage is around 80%. With 3 embryos, your risk of premature delivery is more than 70%. So you do not want more than 1 baby in a uterus of a human being at a time. Otherwise, you have disabled babies, twins lost, and rarely a dead mother. Thus, the role of fetal reduction, because sometimes even if you have transferred 1, you may get more than 1 inside by natural twinning. And here is an example of what we do. So again, another IVF pregnancy. This is a non-shared placenta, where this baby and the pair of babies above, they are not sharing it. However, this is a shared placenta, where this baby and the baby on the left is sharing the placenta. What I did over here is I've put in my needle across the mommy's tummy after local anesthesia, and you'll see smoke coming out of the needle now. Can you see that? That's laser which we are using so that we do not disturb the other identical twin who is sharing the placenta. And thus we got that pregnancy down to from 3 to 2, and now she has twin babies. Here is another interesting case. It was her 12th pregnancy. She had delivered 8 times, miscarried 3 times, and had only 1 daughter, 16 years old. She was 20 weeks when she was referred to me, and when I scanned her, there was anemia in the baby. So this is rhesus isoimmunization. So mother was O negative, babies were rhesus positive, and that's why she was losing the babies again and again and again. So I arranged for the blood over here, and it's very complex to arrange for a blood for the baby in the womb. You need O negative blood, cross-match with mother's blood cells, you need it to be leukocyte depleted, you need it to be hemoconcentrated with a PC of 88%, you need it to be CMV negative, NAT tested, and irradiated. So it is one of the safest blood in the world, as Dr. Mahajan sir can tell us. And when you give that blood to this baby, you can actually save lives. So when you look at this video, that's the baby. You can see ascites in the baby's tummy over here. That's baby's liver, and that's my needle going into baby's liver. I have paralyzed the baby by giving intramuscular atracurium inside the womb in baby's thigh. And now I am giving blood to the baby over here. When I aspirated baby's blood to check for hemoglobin by bedside testing called HemoQ, baby's hemoglobin was 2.5, which usually is around 18 to 20. So baby was severely anemic with heart failure and overall ascites. That's the team. So Dr. Surana, who is a GP practicing in peripheral Down, rather interiors of Down, I even forget the name of the village, got this patient. He said, there is something going on with the patient, let me send her to the gynecologist locally called Dr. Dhaval Vaidya, who sent the baby to my sonologist over here, Dr. Chaitanya, who ultimately transferred the baby to me, and we transfused the baby. Any broken link along the way would suggest that you're going to lose the baby. Had the GP thought we cannot save this baby, baby would be dead. Had the gynecologist thought that the baby is fine, let me see after delivery, baby would be dead. So everybody in the link is important. A consistent counseling across the spectrum is important, and that is why I'm very happy that all of us are sitting together in this multidisciplinary team today and learning what each other should do and how we should look after our patients and make them safer. Where treatment is not possible, so these are certain other conditions, rarer conditions which we can treat. I'm not going to waste your time on that at the moment. Where treatment is not possible, holding of the patient and gynecologist, termination beyond 20 weeks are certain aspects which we can offer to the patients. So For all of us and our families and friends, we have to offer them NT and dual marker at 11 to 14 weeks. And I'm very happy to say I'm on Government of Maharashtra committee for the same recommendation. And we are very positive that by next year, probably, Government of Maharashtra will offer this testing free of cost to 7 lakh women every year, which will save lives. Offer anomaly scan at 18 weeks and help us with termination beyond 20 weeks. I'm not going to go there. Yeah, this is something which we want all of you to know. This is my first case in Supreme Court of India from Pune, where we filed a case on behalf of our patient. Patient had open spina bifida at 22 weeks, and we requested the Honorable Supreme Court that she should get order of termination of pregnancy. And luckily for us, we got that order within 7 working days. Cost to the patient was 0. We did not charge as doctors. She was a very poor farmer from border of Maharashtra and Karnataka. She was actually Kannada speaking. We found out a lawyer, actually an NGO called HRLN, who works out of Mumbai, Ford. And they provide all the legal work free of cost. In this case, they did even paperwork free of cost. They paid for the paperwork. And the overall turnaround time is 7 to 10. So total cost to the patient is 0 to at the most 4,000 rupees for the paperwork, which is charged by the NGO. We as doctors don't charge anything. You need not tell your patients that you are now beyond 20 weeks. Either do something which is not legal, or just bear with the baby and support the baby forever. You need not do that anymore. You can offer them this service free of cost within 7 to 10 working days. They don't have to see a doctor, they don't have to see a lawyer, they don't have to see the court. They just have to see doctors in the neighboring government hospital. That's about it. Government hospital does the MTP free of cost. If you have read last month itself on our recommendation, Government of Maharashtra has now again come out with recommendations for government hospital for termination beyond 20 weeks. So now Government of Maharashtra has accepted that we are going to offer this service at all the district and sub-district hospitals where there are at least 2 gynecologists available, which is according to the MTP Act. And then we can have healthy outcomes, including water birth. So together we can change lives, we can save lives. If you are in the field, if you have got a question, phone a friend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chinmay. I think you have very detailed covered the aspects of fetal medicine, with making it more interesting because of the videos, cases that you have discussed, and some very important take-home messages, even for all of us, that when in need, take an help, take an opinion. Every time, every pregnancy need not be terminated. And if in case termination is required, we do have facilities now even beyond 20 weeks. Thanks once again.
Thank you.
We have some questions, sir.
Yeah.
Detect autism babies.
So unfortunately, most of the autism is developmental and environmental. 5% of the autistics do have genetic spectrum. So if you have an autistic baby in the family, we usually suggest that let us test that baby first. If the baby has genetic autism, we can test for it, and every month I do like a couple of those invasives for that. So what we do is we test the baby. We do a chromosomal microarray where DNA is tested at around 750,000 sites, and they find out the relevant gene mutation. If the gene mutation is found out in the index case, the autistic baby, we will offer the testing for the baby in the womb. So we can offer a chorioniculus sampling before 14 weeks and amniocentesis after 16 weeks, where we take sample of water around the baby or baby's DNA and look for the same genetic mutation. If that genetic mutation is present in the baby, there is a small possibility that baby may get autism. But as I said, it applies only to 5% of autistics. So you have to first test the index case.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I would request Dr. Soitka sir to please felicitate Dr. Chinmay Umarji. And I would request Dr. Pranav to please felicitate Dr. Aditya Khud sir, Dr. Soitka sir. Dr. Pranav, please felicitate the chairpersons. It is rightly said, the littlest feet make the biggest footprints in our heart. Children make our life important. And we thank you, sir, that we have doctors like you who can protect our children.